2. Epidemiology. Epidemiology is the study of the patterns, causes and effects of disease in a defined population. In perinatal medicine, the focus is on the prevalence and causes of illness and death, and long-term disability in mothers, the fetus and newborn infants. These indicators are valuable as measures of the health of a region or country, and allow comparisons between them and monitoring of changes over time. Definitions. Newborn infant. Preterm, less than 37 completed weeks of gestation. Term, from 37 to 41 completed weeks of gestation. Postterm, greater than or equal to 42 completed weeks of gestation. Low birth weight, LBW, less than 2,500 gram. Very low birth weight, VLBW less than 1,500 gram. Extremely low birth weight, ELBW, less than 1,000 gram. Mortality. Maternal mortality ratio, the number of maternal deaths, during pregnancy and within 42 days postpartum, per 100,000 live births. Stillbirth, variable definitions. In U.S., fetal death, no signs of life, greater than or equal to 20 weeks gestation. In the UK, fetus born with no signs of life after 24 weeks. For international comparison, WHO recommend defining stillbirth rate as fetal deaths greater than 1,000 gram or greater than 28 completed weeks, per 1,000 total births. Perinatal mortality rate, PMR. Stillbirths plus early neonatal deaths, up to 6 completed days of life, per 1,000 live and stillbirths, adjusted as above for international comparisons. Neonatal mortality rate, NMR. Deaths in the first 4 weeks, 27 completed days, of life per 1,000 live births. Post-neonatal mortality rate, deaths from 28 days until 1 year, per 1,000 live births. Infant mortality rate, deaths in the first year of life per 1,000 live births. Births. There are 4 million births per year in the US, population 315 million, and 813,000 in the UK, population 64 million. The mean age of a mother giving birth has risen to 26 years in the US, and to 29 years in the UK. Average age at first child 28 years. There has been a steady rise in the birth rate for women in their 30s and 40s. Increased use of assisted reproduction has led to a rise in multiple birth, particularly twins, with increased risk of mortality. Maternal mortality. The huge reduction in deaths directly and indirectly related to pregnancy is one of the most dramatic improvements in health outcomes in high-income countries. In the US, maternal mortality declined from 582 per 100,000 live births in 1936, to a nadir of 11.5 per 100,000 in 1990. This is due to reduced mortality from puerperal sepsis, following the development of antibiotics, improved obstetric care, availability of blood and blood products, and better maternal health, including fewer pregnancies per woman. However, maternal mortality in the US has subsequently risen to 18 per 100,000 in the last 5 years, possibly due to an increase in chronic health conditions, including congenital heart disease. It was 12 per 100,000 live births in the UK in 2010. Perinatal mortality. The causes of perinatal mortality are shown in Figure 2.1. The risk to the infant of perinatal death is about 100 times that for the mother. In the US, the perinatal mortality fell from 13 per 1,000 live and stillbirths in 1980 to 6 per 1,000 in 2011. The decline has occurred not only because of advances in neonatal care, but also from improved maternal health, nutrition and obstetric care. Neonatal mortality. Neonatal mortality rate in the US and England and Wales have declined markedly over the last 30 years, Figure 2.2. This has been achieved in spite of the rise in the proportion of preterm deliveries, the main determinant of neonatal mortality, Figure 2.3 and Table 2.1. Epidemiologic data collection. Neonatal epidemiologic data are gathered through several systems, including National Vital Registration, Birth and Death Certification, and Rapid Reporting Audit Systems, for example, confidential inquiries. There are also special collaborative neonatal databases, such as the Vermont-Oxford Neonatal Network, NICHD, National Institute of Child Health and Human Development. Neonatal Research Network, the Canadian Neonatal Network, and the National Neonatal Audit Programme, in England and Wales, which are used for benchmarking across a large number of neonatal units. Particularly informative are the population-based datasets, Figure 2.4, that combine obstetric and neonatal data with outcome information. Infant mortality. The marked reduction in infant mortality since 1980 is shown in Figure 2.2. With the decline in deaths from infectious diseases since the 1900s, and more recently from sudden infant death syndrome, over 2/3 of infant deaths are in the neonatal period, and even after the first month of life, many deaths are related to neonatal problems. 66% of all infant deaths occur in the 8.3% of infants born with low birth weight. 52% of infant deaths are among the 1.5% very low birth weight infants. Complications of preterm birth and congenital abnormalities are the largest contributors to both neonatal and infant deaths. Both preterm birth prevalence and mortality risk in the US are influenced by ethnicity. The infant mortality rate of infants of Black mothers is over twice that of infants of white or Hispanic mothers. The difference in the UK is similar.